Morning everyone, welcome back to Bumble Stitches Vlogmas. My name's Nicola. It's December the 3rd today, it's Thursday, and it's absolutely throwing it down outside. It's raining, it's freezing cold, and not a very nice day at all. I'm just going to see if I can, I don't know if I can flip the camera around. No, it won't let me do it in this mode, but yeah, it's not really a very pretty sight. I was going to try and show you the weather outside. It's just really miserable and wet, and I do have to go out later, so I'm not really looking forward to that. And to make matters worse, I have to go to the hairdressers. I've got a hair appointment this afternoon, so I'm going to come out of the hairdressers with my hair all done and promptly get all wet and end up like a frizz ball. But it is what it is, and it desperately needs a cut, so that's something to do. And plan also, I'm a bit quick this morning, aren't I? I plan also to go to pop into Hobbycraft, which is a big box craft store, and it's okay. I'm hoping there's a DMC colour I need to pick up for something, and a couple of other bits and pieces. So if I can, then I will take some footage while I'm there to show you all. Don't get too excited though. It's not going to blow your socks off, but it's out, isn't it? It's a little trip out. So comments yesterday were amazing as usual. Thank you all. You make me laugh with the comments about the drive in the first video, and mugs. What can I say? Christmas mugs, general mugs. It seems that we are all pretty much in the same boat, that we've all got a bit of an obsession with them. We like to have lots of pretty mugs, and different mugs will only do for certain drinks and certain times of the day, and yet partners don't quite understand it, do they? They just see it's just a vessel to drink a drink out of. So I did chuckle at some of those, at some of your comments. So do keep the comments coming, because I love reading them. I'm not going to commit to actually answering all the comments or commenting back on your comments, unless it's a direct question, because there will just be so many, and with the filming the vlogs and editing and uploading and all that kind of stuff, it would just mean that I would run out of time. So I hope you understand and don't think I'm being rude, but I will pop a little heart next to your comments so that you know that I've read it. So thank you for those. You saw the little tutorial yesterday where I was starting the finishing for my Lorry Holt pillows for the Christmas tree, and I sat last night or yesterday afternoon and sewed the buttons on and finished off little Rudolph here. He's all done, so you can see now, not all of them. Candy Cane doesn't have any buttons, but little Gingerbread Man and the rest of them. This one was a bit of a, oh, so many buttons for a tiny piece. Right, so let's pop that to one side, because I will be, later on this morning, I'm going to try and see if I can get enough light to just show you some sewing up of these little pillows and the finishing off of them completely. And when I go to Hobbycraft later, I'm going to try and get some little teeny tiny safety pins. The fancy ones if I can, the little sort of bulb shaped ones, but if not, regular little gold pins. And I thought, because I'm still undecided whether these are going to go in a bowl or if they're going to go on the Christmas tree, and I know I said I've got some others that I did plan to do to put in a bowl, I'm not going to try and rush to get those all done in time for Christmas. So I thought if I put the hanging ties on these little pillows with a pin at the back, then they can be either or. I can pin the hangy things on if I want to hang them on the tree, and I can take them off and just pop them in the bowl. So best of both worlds. So I'm going to look out for some of those later. Anyway, I'm rambling now, aren't I? So I'm going to put those down, and we'll have a look at that tutorial later on. It's Advent time. Should we have a look at some Advents? I know a lot of you have been really enjoying the Advents, and I really enjoy showing them to you. And as I said in my first, on day one, it really is a treat. It's, you know, it's a splurge, and I'm very, very lucky to have both of these. So yeah, I hope that you do continue to enjoy me sharing them with you. Shall I just shut up and open the Advents now? I can hear you all saying yes. Okay, so it's So Sweet Violet today. You remember this is alternate days because this is a 12-day calendar. and that's handy. Number 2 is right on the top. So there's number 2, lovely little spotty bag. Just the anticipation, isn't it? Okay. And we have got inside, oh look, Jules has done it again. How pretty is that? Excuse my old lady hands, I think somebody needs some intensive manicure work going on. But anyway, back to this beautiful little progress keeper, the gold snowflake with the little tiny fuchsia pink, well, it's like Christmas cyclamen pink glass bead on it. So pretty. So obviously you could use this on your knitting, and you could also, because it's got the little lobster claw clasp there, you could also hang it from a zip of a project bag. So it's super cute. Pop that one back. Okay, that lives under the table in here, nice and safe. Okay, the stitchery. Now I have to confess, I know exactly which one is number 3 because there was one particular present in this bag, and I don't know if you can see it if I hold it up. You probably can't. You can see the big pink, it's quite a bulky prezi in there, and I was intrigued what was the big bulky one, so I did have a peek and see what day it was, and it's today, so I can go straight to it. Okay, so oh that's shiny, isn't it? Number 3. I'm just like a kid, aren't I? I just get so excited for these. Beautiful. We have some bubble wrap inside. Can you guess? Well, this is going to cause a discussion later. Look at that. It's a mug. You couldn't make it up, could you? Really, you just couldn't make it up. How perfect is that? It's just a shame this light is playing up a little bit. If I hold it back, oh, I just want to get a pretty picture of it. It's absolutely perfect. I like the shape. Can you see the way it dips in here? This light is really frustrating me now. I can't show you the pretty mug. There we are. Noel. And made at home. It's stamped on the bottom. You won't be able to see. Oh yeah, can we see that? Oh. Made at home, and something by somebody and Lola, but I can't actually read. I need to investigate. How beautiful. How beautiful is that? Gorgeous. And just the right size for a coffee. So now, do you reckon I'll be able to smuggle this into the mug cupboard and hope that Justin won't realise it's a new mug? Because if he doesn't watch this video, I think I might be safe. But he has actually been looking at the first few minutes of the videos, so I might just get away with it. Or I could just fess up and just not care. But there we are. That's absolutely beautiful, and I don't want to drop it on the floor out here because it's a stone floor and it will smash, and then that would be awful. Okay, so those are the advents. I'm going to go off now and hide the mug and make myself a cup of coffee and see if I can get the little pillow tutorial set up and get sorted out, ready for going out later on. But I'll see you then. Okay, so I'm back with the little pillow projects, and I've got the sewing machine set up, and hopefully the light is and the angle's quite good and you can see what I'm doing. So all we need to do now is I've got the cross stitch piece and the backing fabric, and you need to put both right sides together, so the right side of the cross stitch piece to the right side of your fabric, and we're going to sew 1/4 inch all the way around, so all the way around the edge here, in one continuous seam, so there's no gaps, because this is a little pillow where you cut the back and then just sew it up later. So I'll get on and do that. Okay, so that's all sewn around. I'll move the sewing machine out of the way and then we'll trim it up and turn it right side out. So here's the piece that I just sewed on the sewing machine, and you can see it's sewed all the way around. There's no gaps here. And next we need to just trim off level with the edge of the Ada. So I'll do that next. It's a bit trickier now because obviously the buttons that I sewed on are inside. So let's just see if we can. And again, I'm not going to worry too much about this being perfectly accurate, because by the time you stuff it and make it into a little pillow, it will be absolutely beautiful without worrying about it being millimetre precise. Okay, and the last one. Okay. Right, so now you're left with this, and you can see your fabric on the back. Now the next part is really important. You need some quite sharp scissors because we're going to cut an opening in the back and then turn it inside out. So I've got my really sharp scissors, and I've got a couple of implements to turn the corners through when I get to that stage. What you need to do next is grab hold of the backing fabric and pull it up so that it separates. So if you can see, I've pulled it away from each other. So you do not want to make any sort of cuts or snips in your stitching, because that would be a shame to ruin it at this point. So I just need to get it nice and ready. And once you make, so I'm just going to make a tiny snip in the fabric, if I can do it like that so you can see. So just a small snip to start with, and then you can open it out. And again, making sure that you've got a good gap between your scissor blades and the stitching underneath, and then just extend the cut section. Okay, so now we've got a hole, and you can see the stitched piece underneath. And what I like to do is just trim off some of these corners. Just be careful not to cut into your seam line. And this will help with reducing the bulk when you turn the pillow inside or right side out. Okay, move those out of the way. Trying to keep nice and tidy. Okay, so all we need to do now is turn it inside out. And it's a bit fiddly because obviously it is small and you don't want to rip. So just go gentle with it, because you don't want to rip where you've just made the cut with the scissors, because obviously that's quite fragile area of the fabric there where it's been cut. So you just have to do a little, try and be patient, which is something I'm not very good at. Okay, we're starting to get there. I'm hoping that you can see this all clearly. And I try to poke it out as much as I can on the corners while I'm doing this stage. Okay, so you end up with something like that, and then it's time to get into those corners. I'm going to use this. You don't want to use anything too pointy because you will pierce through the fabric, especially the backing fabric. So just ease those corners out like that. on each side, or on each corner I should say. Okay, and there we are. So that's essentially most of the finishing done. So what I have now is I've got some polyfill here, and you can use anything really that you've got to hand. If you wanted to put some scraps of sort of wool fibre or batting or anything like that, just anything to just pop in and plump it out into a nice little pillow shape. So I'm going to stuff this now, and they do surprisingly take much more than you think they're going to take. So, and I always start by getting it right into the corners first. Let's get some of this out. I fill all the 4 corners first. Okay, so you can see this is a nice chubby puffed up little pillow now, and you can see sort of how deep it is and the fabric on the back. So the next stage will be to just sew this up by hand using just like a whip stitch, and it doesn't have to be your best sewing, just nice and quick, as long as it's secure, and pulls the edges of the fabric together to secure it, because what we're going to do is pop a little patch over that, so you won't see any messy stitching. But looking really cute so far. So I'm going to cut, I'll just pop that to one side. I have got, actually let's bring it back. I've got these colours of felt, and what I like to do with mine, you can just put one patch on the back just to cover up the hand sewn seam, or I like to put 2 little patches because I just think it adds an extra little bit of interest to it. So I'm just going to cut those. So I will hand sew that, and then I'll show you how I put these little pieces on and finish it off completely. I'm here at Hobbycraft, and it's absolutely thrashing it down with rain. You can probably see, yeah, it's coming down quite hard, and because of social distancing they are only allowing a set amount of people inside the shop at any one time, so there is a few people queuing outside to get in, and I do need a couple of things, but I don't know if I need them that desperately enough to go and stand in the rain and queue for Hobbycraft. I'm going to have a look and see if I've got an umbrella in the back of the car. If I haven't got an umbrella, then I'm not doing it. But yeah, we'll see, because I'm a bit too early for the hairdressers, so otherwise I'll be just sitting in the car outside there. So I'll report back. Mission accomplished. Oh, goodness me, I had to rush from the shop because it's still really, really raining, and I've got a bit of a red face now because I've had my face mask on, but I got most of what I wanted. I didn't film in the shop because it's not fair. There are people queuing to get in, and me just taking my time leisurely filming would have been very rude. So I just grabbed what I needed and got out. So I will share them with you when I get back. I'm back from the hairdressers, and I'm really glad to be back home. It is a horrible night out there, really dark. A lot of the roads were flooded on the country lane, the same lane that I filmed the other day, all completely flooded across. Dark, raining, cold, and not very nice at all. Had my hair cut, doesn't look a lot different actually. It was much better before I came out of the salon and got blown about by the wind. But I did pop into Hobbycraft. You've seen I found the umbrella in the back of the car, so I did pop in there. I couldn't get everything I needed. I'll just quickly show you what I did get. I bought some little winter berry and foliage picks, which are handy for some decor things that I want to do. I picked up a bottle brush tree. What else did I get? was literally just a few bits. Just rustling in the bag at the moment. Some little gold safety pins for using on the pillows, and a few various flosses that I needed. So I grabbed all those. So this is just really me finishing up today's video and saying thank you very much for watching. I will just finish off the pillows tonight, just do the little bit of hand sewing on them and show them to you tomorrow, because it's becoming a bit of an epic journey with them, and I don't want to bore you all to tears and send you all away. So have a lovely evening or rest of day, whatever time it is where you are, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.